California.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Majestix Heroclix Podcast. If you like our content, please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. If you're interested in learning more about the Bronze Age format and the Majestix Open Series, please check out openseries.majestixccg.com. Also, if you want to learn about HeroClix strategies, tactics, and lists from the game's top players, please visit majestixccg.com/apex-insiders. Lastly, if you're looking for HeroClix singles, please visit our eBay stores at stores.ebay.com/MajestixHeroclix and stores.ebay.com/ClicksCollective. All the links for everything I just talked about is below in the description. And again,
my name is Jeff, and as always, my co-host Patrick.
What's up, everybody? So someone was out of commission for a little bit, which is why you couldn't make it to an event. What happened?
I got COVID. Dude,
Uh-oh.
it was the Monday morning. We were about to drive down to LA, and I'm finished packing up my stuff. I'm about to hop in the shower, and I was like, man, I feel funny. Like, I just didn't feel right. And I go take an at-home test, positive. I'm like, fuck, it's probably wrong. Take another one. I'm like, no. So Quinn gets on the phone, like, moves our Disneyland trip to, I think that first weekend in August, I think we're going.
Okay.
So
Wait, first week, that's Vegas.
It's the only time she could get it, dude.
Oh, so you're not going to go to Vegas? That's going to be the biggest one.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. So I've been in my COVID chateau here for a little over a week now.
What were you feeling? Like, what were
So I had a fever, chills, body aches, the cough, obviously.
Did you take a booster shot? That's what that is.
It felt like a bad flu. And then the doctor gave me an antiviral to help with it. He's like, you qualified for this. You can take it if you want. I'm like, that's fine, sure. It ends up making me feel like 10 times worse. Like my blood pressure shoots through the roof. I start getting lightheaded. And like I was taking it for a couple of days. And I didn't realize at first that it was doing to me. So
isn't that because you already have an autoimmune deficiency syndrome?
I guess. Fucking AIDS.
I remember when I told you, I was like, hey, are you sure that you don't have an autoimmune deficiency? And you're like, I don't know, maybe I do. I'm like, oh shit, you have AIDS? And you're like, what?
But needless to say, like after a couple of days, I stopped taking that medicine, and then I finally started feeling back to normal. Like Saturday, I started feeling normal, and I was like messaging you, and then like Sunday, I was calling up my skin to get out of this room.
Did you take another test recently?
I took one Monday, still positive. So I'm gonna test again tomorrow. Wednesday.
But you're feeling better though, so that's
I feel great. Like I was outside doing a bunch of yard work today.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get out. I
mean, that's cool. You missed out on whooping ass, or you missed out on getting your ass whooped. So either way. Because
I'm gonna hope it's the earlier one after my.
Oh my god, dude!
After the last time I shit the bed. So.
Oh, dude. I mean, we'll get into that because Jonah did really well. You know,
I saw, dude. He
came back with a vengeance, so that was good. I was real happy for that. So, because the NorCal guys got to do something, man, because you're not even making it into the poll for what's going to win Vegas.
I know. I was like, "Where's NorCal at, guys? What's up?"
It's like, well, until you guys do something.
Fuck.
I mean, hey, look, they did well though. I mean, like all three of them top 8'd, so that's good. And then Tyler got second the last one, so they're ready to go, man. That's good.
All right.
That's good.
Well, so let's get into those Bronze Age events. Topic 1, we're gonna get into.
Yeah, because we didn't do the last one. So Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. Yep. All right.
So this is Bakersfield. The ICQ. This was on the 25th of June. So just like 2 weeks ago. This is Autos video games. It's the place didn't have. So we're like in Bakersfield, and it's like over 100 degrees there, and there's no AC in there too. So there's a bunch of fans, but like, oh man, it got kind of hot in there. But
it's a little right.
So you know what the trick was, because the outside was so hot,
Mm-hmm.
You go outside for like 5 minutes and you come back in, it feels like it's AC inside.
Nice.
Because that's how hot it was outside that you come in, you're like, oh God, thank you. But it's actually hot inside, but it's just not 110 or whatever. It's just like 90. So
okay. It's so much better.
I know, right? Oh, wow, this feels great. Like, oh, fuck, it's still like 90. All right. So, like I said, 23 players. And the winner, Jackson, see here, played a ruler theme, +7. It's a team that he's been playing. Obviously, Jackson's like he's one of the top players in our circuit. He's only gone to 2 events and he got top 8 and got first in 2 of them. Which also what we should probably be doing is take a look at like the finishes of each player so that we can kind of do like a composite finish of them so that we can kind of we won't really do like a player of the year thing, but we can just to keep track how we used to do.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to keep track now because we didn't have mocks every week. We just have the one event every 2 weeks, so that's cool.
So yeah, we'll send those numbers off to Adam. Get the compiled real fast.
Okay, so Jackson ruler theme is Jason Wingard, Jason Sparta. Of course, Sparta is like a staple in the format, which is great because I love that an old piece like this is a staple. Venom Magneto, Groot, Gorilla Grodd, Proteus, Emotional Modifier, Radioactive Clay. Of course, all of the sideline guys. It's weird because he has Demonicus, he has Maggot, Captain Marvel, but like 90% of the time he's calling in one of the Demonicus pogs.
Yeah, it's hand of 5, right? Flurry.
Yeah, it's that or if it's better for him, he'll pick the ones that the one that has energy explosion.
Okay. Yes.
Because if you call 2 of them out, that's 4 damage. Especially if they're all soft, then he can just energy explosion everyone.
Team just nuts.
Yeah, because if you look at the second place, that's kind of what he did. If you look at Tyler's team, they're all soft. You know, energy explosion basically hurts all of them. And also, it means that Lockjaw can't get masterminded because he'll get hit with energy explosion. But Tyler played an animal theme. His version, basically, if you look at it, it's instead of Chip, it's Lockjaw, and instead of Alyosha, it's Beast.
Yes.
And it's because he's playing it to like basically to beat a Thanos. Because you get him up there, and then he outwits, and then they just bam hit him. They're dead.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, and so far the first 2, it's like kind of what we see, ruler, animal. But then the third place team, what Alyssa played, our first look into Disney Plus, because this is the first event where Disney Plus was legal, and you can see here, it's a basic Avengers team with like Black Widow, Black Leopard, Scarlet Witch, blah blah. But then it has Sicarian Iron Man.
Like it.
And yeah, so the Sicarian Iron Man on here, I think it's
he's 75 points with Ophidian. Oh no, with Brainiac.
Brainiac, yeah, it's supposed to say Brainiac on there, because it gives him sidestep and a reducer, so he can pick up an object on turn 1, both 2 objects turn 1, and then turn 2 pick a reducer, so that it's harder to hit him. But it gives the team much more offense because her original version had 2 the shifting focus. So basically she's relying on the Gamma Bomb to just blow up and then slowly creep up and then just pick off someone here and there. But in this team with the TK from Scarlet Witch and the massive stats from Iron Man and picking powers, Iron Man can just go and like, tank and just one-shot people and then have Black Leopard as a follow-up.
Yeah, and
that made it so much better because it gives her offensive it gives her not even alpha strike, but like if there's like a stalemate where they're just kind of waiting, then she could just go out there and hit them. So,
and I like the utility of the shifting widows. Like they're great nice.
The combination of the shifting focus widow that where you can't use team abilities with Sicarian Iron Man is really big because he can hit for chunks of damage, and as long as you can outwit Thanos's super senses or invuln, and he could take like 10 clicks in one turn.
That's a lot.
So it's a lot. Okay, and then the 4th place, it's of course Clay. Clay and Alyssa are always going to be in the always. I feel like they're always in the top 4 whenever they're playing, either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Clay went back to playing the Bavaria. Yeah,
Bavaria.
It's basically the same team. I don't think there's anything different.
Did he have the ATA last time? I thought maybe it was a different ATA.
I think he did, but I think the main one of the main differences here. You know what? Maybe he didn't, because one of the main differences is he had Gamma Bomb in the other one instead of the canister, I believe. I'm not sure, but I feel like he had the Gamma Bomb. But if not, then this is exactly the same. But yeah. The Just League ATA, the -2 is that's pretty big. And then we have another animal team in Austin. He's playing the same team, so he's playing the traditional Alyosha team, except he put Ophidian on Hamurai to give him what he uses him for is the outwit, so that he can give him like flurry or something.
Yeah, and he dropped Wendigo and Grodd.
Yes, basically that's what it is. It's obviously it works. He's in top 8, so that's 2 animals in the top 8 already. And then we got our first Thanos here with Jan. Thanos, Doctor Doom, Molecule Man, Collector, Groot. So it's I think this is a cosmic theme. So I don't know.
No, Doctor Doom doesn't have cosmic.
Oh, he doesn't. You're right. It's Latveria.
But
oh yeah, you're right.
So like, there's no what's the super rare? Oh, the Groot's a super rare, so he does get the +1 attack there. So that's actually really good. And then he'll generate
because the walking woods are commons, yeah. So yeah, that's the crazy part. The paws are commons, so that gives you that extra thing. And then we have our second look here at. So I think this is the only. I think these are the only 2 in the top 8 that are from Disney Plus. But Jesse played a new team, a mystical theme. It's Agatha and Scarlet and Agnes. So a full 3 new pieces from the new set. It's pretty good. I mean, he finished top 8. The event had a bunch of Scarlet Witches. I mean, there were teams that had 2 of her. Other one that had Agatha and Scarlet. But yeah, there were just Scarlets everywhere. So
dude, Agatha and Scarlet are stupid hot right now.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch should see, play all the time, I think. But like I was saying, it is easy to get around her as long as you kind of go around her. Because if you attack her directly with the Chaos Mark, you're like nothing's gonna happen. But if you hit the other people around, then they're gonna die. So I see a lot of the times, if they can't shoot her, they'll just leave her until the end. Yeah, because they'll kill everyone around and then just kind of isolate her. And then the 8th place team is another Thanos. This is what Anthony played. Thanos, Nighthawk, Prime, Split Lip, Carnage, Alchemical Fire, Millennium Puzzle, Star Sapphire Ring. This is actually my team that I've been testing. My version of Thanos.
Oh shit! So pre-erratas, right?
Yeah, because Nighthawk stops opposing Thanos, and also bonuses, right? But more so, there's a lot of just free damage from this team because Alchemical Fire gives damage to them. And then the Millennium Puzzle is the old school Mystics without Mystics. So you can combo with Mystics. Yeah, so whenever he takes damage, basically immediately they take 1 unavoidable. And then with the Sapphire Ring, it's Mystics and Shape Change. So on the right turn, and if you're able to pick them all up with Split Lips ability, you can have the Alchemical Fire by turn 2. You can have Alchemical Fire, Puzzle, and the Ring, and you can have Super Senses, Shape Change, Prob, and then if they hit Thanos, they take 2, and then that's really hard to come back from.
You're like, so you don't even want to attack them because you're just
exactly.
But I remember when we came up with this team, we were at Lazy Dog after my event, and you're like, do this.
Yeah, it's. Because the main thing here is like you have to kill Thanos. So because Thanos is obviously can easily get more than 100 points. He can get like 100 points just by himself. Because if he has all this, he's over 200 points just by himself if you have to fire a puzzle in the ring. So he's 203. So as long as you kill more than 97 points on the other side and you lose the rest of your team, you win. Yeah, so that's basically what happens a lot of the time. Because if they start seeing that they're behind, or what happens is like Carnage and Split Lip will die, and then they have to take all of their effort to try to kill Nighthawk. But if you go after Nighthawk, you're right there by Thanos, and Thanos just hits boom, 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 and now you're getting alchemical fire. Let's say Nighthawk dies, and then Thanos starts hitting. Then now you actually have to hit Thanos, and that's not good because then you're taking damage back.
Because he's got his stuff.
And then he has Soul Gem too. So yeah, the metagame there was pretty cool. There was a lot of the basic teams you've seen. There was a few Latveria too. It's interesting that no Latveria. Oh, one Latveria team, because I feel like there's always going to be a Latveria because that has the answer. Like that kind of team has the answer for everything, right? Because there's the
like
Doom,
good utility.
there's the DJ Doom that can take stuff if there's a bad object. There's the 3-arm, 4-arm Doom that can stop actions, and then the one that can, Lord Doom that can stop bystanders. Bystanders. Yeah, so you have all that, and then of course with all those keywords, you can just add how you want. You have Molecule Man at least, right? But yeah, so Jackson ended up winning. The map that he actually plays, the Iron Man's Workshop, I think, is that what it is?
Yeah, Iron Man's Workshop. Because
it's a short map, he can actually go across the map in one turn, attack, and then do the free. He doesn't have to wait one turn. So
yeah, he's got full board reach, especially with the TK from the
the free TK, and then Magneto carries them, and then he goes. It's a really good trick. So obviously the ways to get around it is to just pulse wave or do free damage somehow. But if you can withstand the bystanders, which are really hard because those things hit for a lot, especially when there's a Gorilla Grodd next to one of them and they're hitting for like 5.
Yeah, it's what, 11 for 5 or something.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I think this type of team on this map, if he wins all the time, it's a really tough out. There are certain teams that can kind of handle it. Namely, if you're playing like a Latveria team that happens to have 6 characters,
yeah, he doesn't get his stuff.
He doesn't get it. And if you have emotional modifying your team, then guess what? They're not mind controlling you either. So then what does the team do? The team will do absolutely. If you look at it, besides those 2 things, they do nothing.
Yeah, like Richard's team should be able. Well, no, Richard had a really high theme. He has
theme. 9. So so if you do have even if you're 7,
yeah,
and you take 1 hit from something and it dies, then they can't make it again.
Yeah, like he'll sacrifice. The Wonder Woman ladies.
Yeah, so like let's say you both have 7, and then they choose not to give you the thing with Groot. I think it's not. There's Groot. Then they can make so the first one he comes up, he can make 1 hand to 5, and then cannot make the second one because now they have more than you. So you just take 1 hit, and you're fine. Okay, cool. I'll take 1 hit, and then now you can't do anything for the rest of the game. Because then I'm gonna you could just kill the wind guard, or whatever, But I think obviously there has to be, you have to prepare for a team like this. Also, Jason Sparta's a common, so easy.
Yeah.
You could do it with all kinds of things, but I did want to mention though that me, you, and now Armando. I think why like the circuit and the series have been very successful is like the care, the passion, the love that we have for the game. Like you went above and beyond, above from the $1,000, the 1K. You also gave all those Connellys on top of everything. So like you went out of pocket for a lot. I went out of pocket for a lot because I prized out a lot. And Armando also went out, dude. He went crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, Armando, his pricing, it wasn't listed on there, but the amount of stuff that he brought was insane. The Battle Royal prizes were $25 gift cards.
Oh, wow.
$25 gas cards. That's for Battle Royals. And people, like 3 people playing. And then he was giving out, dude, he gave out a whole nother brick for the top 8, split. So 5th rate, just more. And then 9 through 16, just more like a starter, a play at home kit. Like one of the prizes was a full complete all 4 of the Fantastic Four figures from the FF storyline.
Dude, that's hella good.
The 4 of those and the map.
Dude, that's really good.
That's like a $60 value, and that I think that was like 5th through 8th.
Dude, that's solid. I like that.
Yeah, so he went absolutely nuts with the pricing too. So, and obviously, when it comes to that kind of stuff, we'll never be able to compete when it comes to WizKids, right? Because they literally can print their own stuff.
Yeah.
But why is it that we can get more or have comparable numbers? It's because of the love and the passion that we have, and also the people in the community that attend.
Yeah. We got a great community out here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I wouldn't change this for anything, man. Because I know when I go to other places, when you go to like the other parts of the country, they don't even though there's like a lot, it's more dense when it comes to the travel that you can go to all the events. They're all closer, but it feels more. No, I don't know if territorial is the word, but they're very like protective of their whatever you're at, and then there's a lot more like arguments and fights all the time that people I always see that they always have to,
I hear stuff gets heated
all the time, right? Here it's so nuts how, like, if we only have like one minor incident, it's like it's very minor, it's like nothing, like okay, cool, like whatever,
knock on wood, dude, we haven't had any big like disagreements or like
nothing, and some of them can get big, but like everybody's so cool, and like the people are so over there. If you go over there, like just thinking about the Rock Cup, there's like 5 or 6 incidents just in like 2 days that's going on over there. But that doesn't happen here because everybody's, dude, it's crazy over there, man. Like, just ask Anthony and Rob Gallagher like what's going on over there. It's so when I make so now I have the little speech in the beginning now that I had the little guidelines of like
the
conduct. Yeah, conduct. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to really enforce any. Like, it's very rare I have to enforce anything there because everyone is so cool and they all understand.
And they're all on the up and up. They're not trying to like get over on somebody.
A lot of people, and what's good too is because they're all advanced, obviously, so they all know the rules, and maybe it's some little things that need clarification, but they all know stuff, and they're all pretty cool. And if it does get a little bit heated, then it always ends up they're all cool at the end. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah. And
I'm so grateful that we have like this community that's like that. Because it can get really competitive, but they're all really like, it's just, I don't know, they're just cool. Yeah. I don't know how else to say it because
I agree with you 100%. Like I hear stories of other games of like Magic or even like Commander, which is supposed to be like the casual Magic, right? Yeah. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh, like horror stories of people just like on weekly nights events, just fucking blowing up. Like,
what
the fuck?
Yeah, and this too is like nobody's trying to cheat anyone. Everyone's helping everyone. It's so I'm so fortunate. I just want anyone who is out there listening that attends all our events. Like, it's a testament to them at just like how like mature and just overall nice everyone is. They're all willing to help each other out. You need a piece, you need a card. Everyone's there to help everyone out, and no one's there to screw anyone over. And chief one of those when we get to it is like Jonah's sportsmanship is like, it's through the roof. It's like insane. Like when we get to it, he wanted to DQ himself from the tournament because he felt so bad. I was like, no. Let's calm down. But he felt so bad. But I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. It's whatever. It didn't, it wasn't that big a deal.
All right. Let's get into
like that. Yeah. So
that Fresno event.
So let's go to.
So you gotta go back.
Okay. So then we'll go to Legends. So the next one was this past weekend.
I know, dude.
Topic 2.
I know, this was Lander's event, man. I was supposed to be there.
Yeah, Legends Comics in Fresno, which is the 9th, and there was only 13 players because like 3 people from our area canceled. Yeah. You canceled up there, but wasn't there a couple other people supposed to come down too from there?
Yeah, like if I was gonna go, there's gonna be at least like 2 other people to come with me.
Yeah, so like, and then there was 2 people that canceled on Craig the last minute. So that's like 6-7 people that would go to each side 19 or 20. But 13 players nonetheless. It was good. Alyssa won. She finally got the win. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. But she won with the same team, exactly the same team that she played. It's a really good team. This is a legit team, man. Like, it's very defensive and offensive at the same time. So it's in Magic, it would be a mid-range. It's really good. And then you see Anthony got second. Played the same team from the week before last time, my Thanos team, and he got second. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. And then the third place one, I'm so excited because Armando, the organizer from Bakersfield, enabler, just like the guy over there in Bakersfield, got third place playing a monster team with Venom Wolverine like his favorite piece. Sky Tyrant Scarab, Venom Magneto, Surtur, Commissioner, and then a couple gems and a bomb. This is very balanced, very strong. He snuck in at 8th place. Okay. Yeah. And he knocked out the number 1 seed and then lost in the top 4. And then he played in the 3rd place game. He beat Jesse, who was the number 2 seed.
Oh, jeez.
So he to get 3rd place, he beat the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed. So kudos to Armando. He's more known as someone who just does the organizing stuff because he does everything for Bakersfield. Yeah. But the fact that he was able to play and showcase his skill, I'm very excited for because this is a really solid team. You look at it, right? He's actually playing Surtur. I love it.
Yeah, like OG Surtur, the good one.
Yeah, exactly. So speaking of Jesse, one half of the Trash Brothers, he got 4th with a modified modern team. So he's playing Scarlet. So on the stream and stuff, I just wrote good stuff because there's no really it's just a bunch of good pieces. Yeah. Scarlet Witch, the new one, obviously the Chase. Doctor Strange, Recruiter Strange, Sicarian Iron Man, Venom Magneto, Molecule Man, Tri-Sentinel, Professor X, and Cloak of Levitation on Sicarian Iron Man, so that it's the same thing as Alyssa's Brainiac. He can pick up two objects in the first turn. And
no.
Yeah.
Because it's a power action.
I'm sorry, in the first turn.
That was by turn 2.
On the second, he can do it. Yeah, that's right. I have to be next turn. That's right. Which is what Alyssa was saying. Why she wanted to put the entity right away, so you could do it on turn 1. Yeah, that makes sense. And the Recruiter, even though it's not a mystical team, like the main people here, like Tri-Sentinel and Scarlet Witch, and also I think I don't know. Can he bring another? I think the only person for the Professor X swap, I think, is just Darwin. It's Darwin and Maggot, right? Bishop.
Yeah, and then he's got Venom Megs to.
Yeah, it's a pretty good swap too. He's got good options, but a lot of the times the Tri-Sentinel just goes down, and here comes Wendigo, and then boom, and then Wendigo goes nuts. That's how a lot of times he does it. But I actually like the idea of playing the swap mechanic guys without actually playing a theme team.
Yes,
because it gives him access to whatever he needs.
So the Swiss Army knife.
Yes, it's like, you're playing Thanos, I'm gonna bring in Bishop. You're playing entities or pick power, I'm gonna bring in Darwin. And then you have Jason Wingard, I'm gonna bring in Maggot. Like things like that, right? That's really cool. And a lot of times it's cool because he can bring in both he can bring in both Phoenixes if he wants to. So I think it's a pretty cool team. It's just like a bunch of good stuff. But I like this concept where you're just kind of mashing a bunch of things together, because he's getting the swap benefits from the X-Men teams and swap teams, and he's still getting the mystical stuff from Recruiter Strange, and he's still playing Sicarian Iron Man.
Yeah, it's just a synergy of a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I like it. So I mean, obviously he did well. He got 4th, and then fifth to 8 here. 5th, actually. I think we should start doing 5th, 6th, 7, 8 from now on, because actually Jonah got 5th.
Okay.
Yeah. He was the number 1 seed. He was undefeated 4 rounds, 4-0. Hellfire themed seed. So to me, this was in the running for the BBW.
Okay.
Right? This was up there. I was like, this is good, but then you'll see why he didn't get it. You'll see. But it's cool. I mean, it looks weird. It's like Emma Frost, Kate Pride, Magneto. But he's swapping in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so this is the uncommon alternate to the Prime Emma Frost from Uncanny X-Men. Just super random. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, he needed to make the points work. But the basic move on this team is the Jean Grey bomb.
Yes.
With Exodus.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, he got a lot of people with it because it's if they're not prepared for it, I mean 6 squares is a lot for her to do the bomb.
It's huge.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I like it, and if he wins map, he's getting those Lockheeds, and then now you like for sure Exodus is hitting. But yeah, he did well, and then he just obviously lost to the monster team. But Ray played a different version of the Avengers team. It's very similar, okay? So it's similar to Alyssa's in that it has the shifting focus with the it has the shifting focus Black Widow with Black Leopard because he does like swap them in. Because he's playing like the swap cap and stuff like that. But instead he has Harry Leland in there too. So like because they can't shoot, they have to charge in, right?
Yeah.
So if they charge in, then guess what? You get -2/-2. So yeah, it's a tough match. I like the idea because he's bringing in Harry Leland with Steve Rogers.
Do this.
So it's cool, man. It's a super defensive version of Alyssa's team. And then still, this is the budget Sky Tyrant team. Jonathan's Cosmic +6, like our true Cosmic team. Captain Marvel with Ophidian. I think that's cool that people are starting to play more
entities,
right? Because we're starting to see a little bit more. This is the Nova, Mr. Oz, Star Sapphire. The Star Sapphire 2 is from the miniatures game, Mangog, Molecule Man, Octopus Arms, Reign of Terror. It's your basic like cosmic team that you would see if it was like a Latveria team, with Doom, right? Because he's playing the Nova in lieu of Sky Tyrant, because obviously it's like $150 or you pay $1. And you give him Arc Arms, he's got full move charge after you TK him, so he can get all the way. And what's kind of cool is there were 2 Harry Lelands in the tournament, and Nova
so bad for him.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, so Jonathan again, he played this again and he got 7th.
Yeah. So
he, obviously, like I said, all 3 of the NorCal guys made it, so they're in it now.
I like it.
And then this is the first of the BBWs right here. This is why. Okay, look at this team.
Boom. I know. I was typing it up and I was like, wow,
dude, it's so many pieces. It's 12, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's so funny because how Aaron plays it too is he kind of plays them in like 2 units almost. It's so funny because like sometimes he can carry them all with Chip, sometimes it's Flash, whatever. But dude, I didn't know Hammerhead was an enforcer until he told me, like he was messaging me one time because he wanted to play enforcer. I was like, oh, that's cool. I was just thinking Ox and Fancy Dan, and he's like, no, Hammerhead. What? And then, dude,
we got CCE, right?
Yeah. So let's bring up Hammerhead because the Enforcers team was around, but when
I remember him playing it a while back.
Yeah, he did it in a mock. But check this out. Look at this, 30 points, right? So he breaks blocking already, so he can already get through Molecule Man. But his sidestep with Close Combat Experts was 11-4 base. But look at his damage, or the trait. He has a charge as traded. And when he uses it, he modified damage +1. So if he's able to like live, he's doing 5 damage when he charges, right? And if there's a Grodd next to him, that's 6. If he picks up an object, that's 6. But more importantly is this. Flash can copy Syndicate and
he gets a 12.
It'll be 13.
Yeah. Plus the 1. Yeah.
Dude, what the hell? That's
I was gonna say even with Jason has an 11 attack, right? But Flash, yeah. Oh, jeez, that's stupid.
Dude, yeah, it's a 12. Yeah. So, but like because on the turn that he does it, he's doing he's copying the Green Lantern team ability, so he needs to have a secondary person. So that's why Jason Massendale's there. Also, stopping Mystics is like really big because his guys are all like 3 or 4 clicks. So they don't want to just die. So no Mystics, that's solid. but the double carnage too. So obviously, like, you know, we call it enforcers, but he goes, no, it's the magia, because look at it. Fancy Dan, Hammerhead, Ox, and Jason are all magia. So he goes, there's actually more magia than enforcers. I was like, oh, you're right. That's so funny, right? So this is an awesome team, man. I mean, it's like no objects. It's just a bunch of little dudes.
Just figures on the map and let's go.
Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of times I'm watching him, he's like, he'll lose like 5 guys in one turn. And then they'll be like, oh, that's game. And he's like, no, I still got 7 guys left. And then he wins. It's so funny.
It's a lot to take down.
So with that, let's talk about something with the new rules with Carnage. Okay. So this came up, and, you know, obviously it's a nice little trick. You know, Aaron, being a veteran, knows this. But Carnage, okay, let's take a look at Carnage. I think he's the only one that this works for. But okay, let's bring this up.
Yeah, I don't know which other colossals have multiple targets.
Okay. Yeah, but okay. So because the old rules were, when you do a close combat attack, you can only do one person, no matter how many bolts. But now that you can do is that you can use your bolts to target multiple people. If you have multiple bolts, he has 3, so he can target 3 different people. Now you're like, oh, why is that relevant for his, you know, because he has colossal indifference? Well, down here, colossal indifference says if he began the game on the 10-point start line, he can't attack smaller characters except via colossal retaliation. So why is that relevant? It means as long as he's using his retaliation to hit someone on the retail, he can use his other 2 bolts to target other people with his close attack, obviously.
Yeah.
So he can attack multiple people if...
You could even be like, fuck the original target if they have mystics, right? And then swing on the other people next to them.
Yes. And then you know why that's better? Because then if you don't hit the guy with the mystics, you can make the pog next to that person.
Yep.
So, and it's like, well, why is that? It's like, wow. Well, because if Carnage can hit 3 different people, let's say they're pogs, and they don't have like reducers, he can split the damage 1-1-1, and then now they all die, and then he makes up 1 pog with the symbiote next to somebody, and then when he hit regular attacks, he can just regular hit the colossal that's back there as well. So for 10 more points, for 10 points, this guy just got even better. I don't know how many people know that trick, but Aaron used it to great efficiency, big time. Because I've had to come over and.
I didn't know about it till you mentioned it, and then you mentioned it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense."
Because nobody did it, right?
You know, it's good.
He did it, awesome. So then I had to tell the opponents, like, yeah, you can. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, dude. All it says, it doesn't say that he can't attack anyone else.
Yeah.
Period. It just says that as long as he's using the retail, he can attack them.
Yep.
So that makes this Carnage just should go up. So the note, guys, so if you can pump his damage to like 5 or 6, there you go. Or give him exploit or whatever. He's gonna be disgusting, dude.
Give him a hammer.
Yeah. So that is where Carnage just got way better. Now we're gonna talk about the first and second. Okay. Well, let's talk about Jonah first.
Okay, Jonah. I always like talking about Jonah.
Yeah. So the sportsmanship, right? So for 3 rounds, nobody. Okay, remember, we always say both players are responsible for the game state, right? We always say that because we can't. If we're not there to watch all the games, we can't know the game state. You guys have to, so that when we go over there, if there's a question, we know what's happening. So you got. But if we go over there, you don't know what's happening. Then how? If you don't know what's happening, how do we know what's happening? Right?
Yeah, how can I help you?
Yeah. So that's why I always say that, because that also means if you guys miss something, it's on you guys, because we're just there going off of what you tell us as judges. So that's why it's like a blank statement for like, you guys are responsible. Also, it prevents people from cheating, because if like, let's say you're trying to cheat me, but you know you're cheating me and I know you're trying to cheat me, and I'm just gonna wait until you do it, and I call the judge and try to get you DQ'd. The judge is gonna give both players a warning or whatever, because like you're both supposed to be responsible for this, right? Now, if it's honest to goodness they didn't know the rules, that's different. But like for the most part, you should know, because like they're advanced players, right? Especially if you're playing the piece. Okay, now he plays Exodus, right?
Yes.
So Exodus has Krakoan Revival. Well, what's Krakoan Revival? If an X-Men died, they come back and you get the POG, the score points, blah, blah, right? Okay. Jean Grey does not have the X-Men keyword.
Oh, no.
Everyone, and I mean for 3 rounds, everyone missed it because you just assumed that Jean Grey is Jean Grey. She's X-Men. So every round, nobody said anything because, well, she's X-Men. Cool. That makes sense. I don't know how many times it happened, but I do know because he felt so bad during the game. And I have to edit this part out on the recording on the thing because we had to stop it for a little bit. But because he was trying to do it against Aaron. And Aaron's like, oh, let me look at the card. And then, well, okay. And then call the judge. And Craig's like, yeah, you're not an X-Men. And he's like, oh my God. So he just like, he lost his shit. He was like, dude.
Oh,
and
no.
then he's like, then I get DQ'd, man. I'm done. I'm like, no, wait, what are you?
Oh,
because
no.
he
done it all day.
However, I think though, what he said, from what I heard, that he only did it to Jessie. Because the other 2 rounds, they didn't kill her. Yeah,
I was gonna say Jesse's pretty good about catching stuff.
Yeah,
like that
I don't
too.
know. So, but he wanted. He was like, I want to get. It's like I'll take. I'll take the DQ. Yeah. I'm like no. I was like, look, dude, this is round 4. We caught it now.
Yeah.
None of you guys caught it, but like now like this is how it is. Something going forward. Like nobody said anything for 3 rounds because just everyone, like all your opponents also just assumed. So now that you know it. Going forward, but I'm like, we can't go back because it's round 4. But like that is something that you're like, well, if you make this mistake again in the next, like in the top 8, if this happens in the top 8, guess what? You're gonna get a loss because we told you that this is the rule.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't do that. But like, you get your warning, whatever. And he it's so funny because I always tell people when they ask me, when they call me over, the first thing I always say, what does the card say?
Exactly.
But that's the first thing I tell someone.
Or let me see the card.
What does the card say? And then they'll read it. And if they still don't get it, then they'll show it to me. Okay, whatever. Or like if they want to know a power about something, they'll okay, well, let's see what the power says. Because like 9 times out of 10, the answer to your question is on the card, unless it's a game state-based rule in the game, if that makes sense. Where, for example, when you generate something, it's just implied that it generates next to the character.
Adjacent.
Right, adjacent to that character. It's not going to say that on the card because it's a state-based effect.
But yeah, it's a comprehensive rulebook question.
That just happens already. You know what I mean? Because when someone asks, where do I generate this guy? I was like, well, if it doesn't tell you where, it's just implied it's next to them. That will not be on the card, but that's just a rule in the game that you should know, right? Things like that. Things like that you should know, like hindering movement, hindering terrain movement. Oh, do I stop? Well, that's just something you should know that's part of the rule that you don't stop when you move through hindering. Things that say block line, because I still get that question a lot. When things that say block line, they think that's different than stealth. I was like, no, stealth is the same. Because like if you look at the wording of stealth, it says it blocks your line. So if something says blocks line, it's the same thing, right? So things like that. But if things are on the card, like most of the time you can answer. That's why I was like, just look at the card.
Reading is a skill.
Yeah, dude. Reading is one, and then reading comprehension is another one. I've noticed that those are 2 different skills.
No, 100%.
Yeah, it's so weird because I'll tell people to read the card, and they'll read it.
What it means.
No, they'll read it, but then just omit words from the card and they're reading it.
I've seen that
like,
too.
I was like, wait a minute. You didn't even read, like, is it because you want it to work this way? Like, hold on. Like, you need to read the whole thing and they'll read it again. I'm like, wait, dude, do you not see that it says this turn? So because they think they want to do it for the rest of the game. I'm like, it literally says this turn, but they don't read that.
No, because 100%. Like, I have this one guy, and every time I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, it says to do this. I'm like, read your card. And he's like, oh, once per game. And he's trying to do it for like the third time. I'm like, dude, no.
But like a lot of times when you ask them, they'll just omit words for some reason. And then the other one is they'll read it and they're like, I don't get it. So that's a whole nother thing. I'm like, okay, well, if you don't get it,
yeah,
and that's going to be another issue because like you're playing the piece. So if you're playing the piece and you don't get it, something's wrong. Okay.
You know, your job as the judge is to be the translator, apparently.
Yeah, dude.
For the day.
I mean, but that's the good thing about, like I said, about the people that play in our circuit. They all know the rules for the most part. They're just little things here and there that maybe they don't know. Like here's a question. Is this actually a really good question? That because nobody uses knockback. Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
If she knocks someone, it says it's knockback. When she knocks them back, she heals one.
Oh.
But what if you don't knock them back, right? Then you don't heal. But because you don't really use it, like, I got a question. I actually got two different people ask me. They're like, hey, there's a guy in the way. I want to knock them back, but I can't because they're in the way. Do I still heal? I was like, no, because it specifically says you have to knock them back to do it. Like, okay. But see, that's like a question that's like, okay, that you're like, is it contingent on you actually knocking them back? Or is it that you generated knockback itself? You know what I mean?
Fair, yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. But those are more the common type of questions that you'll get where they kind of need clarification. But for the most part, they all know their stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right,
now
ready?
Getting the
first
final
and second place. Oh no.
Right. Okay, so the game was really close. It was down to the wire. Anthony just had Thanos left, and Alyssa had Sicarian Iron Man loaded up. And Thanos had taken a beating already, right? Thanos is like, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 clicks down. But I think he's on his last click of Invul.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. But, Anthony decided I'm going to stay and fight, and he chose Super Sense. He still Time Gem, so he has Super Senses and Shape Change. Afterwards I was telling him, I was like, yeah, if you just phased away, then she literally cannot charge Flurry you. Because he was there, because like what happened, he stayed and he tried to like go for the kill on
Iron
Man. Or not Iron Man, I don't know what it was, but he just couldn't do it. And then he had to be in the defensive now. So it's like basically you have rollouts. Well, Alyssa's like, well, this is gonna be, like this is basically it. Because like Black Leopard ended up dying from the alchemical fire.
Oh, it's a thing.
So boom. So like on her turn, he died. Like, okay, now it's just Kyron Iron Man. So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna pick Precision Strike, and I'm gonna pick Flurry from the 2 powers. Like, okay, and then I'm gonna Perplex. Okay, whatever. Boom, hit. Misses. So he misses the Shape Change, and then misses Super Senses. So Sicarian hits. Boom. The first time hit for 5, so you take 3. Okay. Now, immediately from the Millennium Puzzle, you take 1 unavoidable. So she takes 1 unavoidable, and then she has to click the Brainiac. So, well, here's the thing about both of them. Like, time was running out, right? It was like, basically, they don't know how much time is left. So they're kind of rushing. But, like, Alyssa was already on the next attack, and Anthony was already going to roll Shape Change.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whoa, wait, what are you guys doing? Like, go ahead. And they were like, kind of like, wait, Alyssa, you need to take the Millennium Puzzle damage. Okay. There was like, and then you need to click the Brainiac.
Yeah.
Okay, and then are you done? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. She's like, I'll pick whatever. She's like said like invuln or whatever, and then she went to attack, and Anthony rolled the Shape Change, didn't get it. She hits. I want to say she crit. No, she just hit. Okay, so she hit. Well, it's 5 damage, So with the toughness, it puts Thanos on the last click.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then it would be Anthony's turn, and basically he's gonna win because he could just get out. So it's his turn. Oh, it's all split lip. So it was gonna do that, but then like, okay, so you take, and I think it was time or whatever, and then she goes, oh wait, Sakari and Iron Man after he took the Millennium Puzzle damage, his damage value goes up to 3. Okay, so it goes up to 3 plus the 2 is 5, and then she goes, but I picked +1 from the Brainiac damage, so it goes to 6.
Oh,
and he's like, oh yeah, so then it kills him.
Brainiac.
She's like,
damage wasn't higher.
He's dead. Right, and he's like, oh wow, and it was like, oh wow, that was it. So I was like, okay, well, is that it or what? Because then, like, Anthony still has a chance because our Sakari and Iron Man took 3 damage. He took like 4 damage from that. So Sakari and Iron Man is on click 7 on the last click. Well, Split Lip had picked up the modifier, but he equipped it.
Oh,
okay. If he just Hail Mary threw the object, he might have rolled a 9 and killed her. Killed the whatever. Right? Whatever.
Yeah.
But because he equipped it, he has no range, he can't get up there, so that's time. It's like, okay, that's it's over. Like, okay, so I was like, are you sure everything's good? Everything's okay, good, everything's all right. And then, they fill that, they report to Craig. We take pictures, we prize everything. We're like leaving. Right? We're about to leave. And then, there's like, because then the whole time we're thinking like,
no.
They're just talking like, how could I have won? So then I just go, you know what? Let me just see. I was like, hey, Alyssa, can I see Brainiac? Sure. So like everything's packing up. We're leaving to go eat. And I look at Brainiac and I go, what click were you on? I was like, I was here on click 4 or like click 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. I was like, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Your damage is 3. It's not 4 anymore because you took damage. He's like, yeah. It's like, but you couldn't have picked +1 damage because your damage is the same on click 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God. And then Anthony's like, oh my. So they're like, oh my God. I'm like, well, fuck, dude. Like everybody's packed up. We're leaving. Like we're like literally like basically, Aaron's basically already going to the restaurant to reserve our seats.
Dude, that's horrible. Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, dude. And you know what? Okay, you want to know the ironic thing about this? Aaron and I, as the final round was starting, we were joking. Like we were just before they started their setting up. We're joking around like, man, if you just say something with conviction, I'm sure you could get your opponent to believe you. We're like, if you just say, and he was like, yeah,
dude, it's 100% confident.
Like you take an extra 1. Why? Because. And your opponent, okay, sure. Like if you just like, yeah, you take 5. Like, oh, why? Because my card. That's what my power says. Okay. Like if you start doing, if you just say like, if you just did that.
Yeah, like if you get the right opponent, it's like no.
Like you can get away with it, right? And that's number 1. And then I said, yeah, dude, that's like that right there is administering the intelligence test to see if they're paying attention what's going on, or if they really know what's going on, or if they're just going to believe you. And sure enough, Alyssa did that same thing, and we were like, yeah, you're right. Granted, she didn't do it on purpose because she just saw that Brainiac was on. Sakari and Iron Man's on 3 damage.
3, yeah.
So she's like, oh, but I get the +1. But little did she know, when Brainiac clicked, he dropped from 4 to 3.
3, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. So that was bad. But it was just like, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why the whole joke was like, you said it with such conviction that we literally everybody believed you.
Just had to believe you.
Like we all did. We're like, yeah, I guess. Granted, we were kind of just watching the game from I don't know. Craig was there. We were both kind of watching, but they know what's going on.
Yeah,
they knew what was going on, and then even Anthony was like, yeah, I do take the extra. It's like, okay. It's like, okay, I guess you're right.
Dude, he agreed to it.
Yeah, so it's like,
okay, the game state changed. That's what it is. No go back.
Dude, not only did the game state changed, the game was over.
Dude, yeah, 100%.
Because we had already taken dude, by the time I found that out, I had already posted that on the Facebook.
Oh my dude, that's got to be a bad feeling inside.
So I mean, like, look, she still won. So that's like, look, I was telling her, I go, Alyssa, think of it like this. At least you didn't sidestep 3 squares and 1 Canadian Nationals with it. All right. So let's That's even worse.
Is that what is that what happened?
That's what Kenny Pena did. You know, you never hear that? You never
No,
hear the Canadian sidestep?
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like back in 2015, he ended up winning because he sidestepped 3 squares to reach him, and he ended up killing him, and he won. And that's on stream. That's why everybody was posting like, "Hey, did he sidestep 3 squares? Did he sidestep?" It's like by the time I found out, his game was over. So then that's why it became like a meme kind of thing back then, and everybody was joking like, "Oh, you took 3 square sidestep."
Yeah. Well, my first WKO that I won, I asked Alan if I could carry with Battle Fury, and he said sure. So that won me the game.
Yeah. But like nobody, but that wasn't this one's gonna be like we're gonna record, like this is recording, and I'm gonna put it up, so we'll see. But we're not gonna be able to see. We're not gonna be able to see what click. We're not gonna be able to see the click. That's the difference, right? So you don't know like whatever. But the other thing too was like, did the Mystics and the puzzle damage kill Iron Man?
Yes.
And it was only on click 7. We're like, are you sure it's not? We're like, well, and I was like, well, fuck, I don't know. We can't go back because I didn't know. We didn't know what click he was on at the beginning of the turn. So that makes a difference, because if you're in click 3 and you take 4, 5, 6, 7, that if you take 4, that's on click 7. But if you're in click 4 and you're dead, right? But I know for a fact that I stopped it and I told her to take 1 from the Millennium Puzzle right away. So I knew they took 1, and then after that, whatever. But they were so like, and it's also not. It's also like on Anthony to pay attention on what click both Brainiac and Sakairan Iron Man are on, because it's part of knowing what you're on, like knowing the game state, right? So that's also on him for knowing, like, because let's say she did, let's say they messed up somewhere and she forgot to click one time and Sakairan didn't die, or like Sakairan's supposed to die. Like, was that? But I don't know, because he was
supposed to take at least 4 damage from the attack from Thanos, right?
So he would have had to been on click 4 for it to happen. Now, in a previous turn, when she was hitting him, she had chose Steel Energy.
Got it.
So which is why she didn't take the 4. She only took 2. Which is why I think if she only took 2, that means she was on click 3. And I think that was the only time she took damage. I don't know. Because I do remember that she chose Steel Energy so that she wouldn't take 4.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of dicey, but you know what? Whatever. Little controversy, but hey, it was a close fought game. She pulled it out. Yeah,
and like you said, both players are responsible.
Yep, that's why I was saying. That's why I was saying in the very beginning, man. Like, you guys have to do it. I mean, you should see both of them. They're both like flustered about what's going on.
So basically,
they were both like, I tell you, in the middle of that attack, in the second flurry, Anthony was already gonna roll shape change, and I was like, dude.
So Sakairan Iron Man
puzzle first.
So Sakairan Iron Man went to 3 damage. That means he's on click 5. So if he takes 3 more, another 2 Mystics.
Click 5. Okay, hold on. The second attack. Remember, he has to go to 3 damage and then make the second attack, because you cannot get on 3 damage unless you had already hit. Yes or no?
Yeah, so when Alyssa started the attack, she was on click 4, right? So the first attack hit, the Millennium Puzzle sends her to click 5.
Wrong. Hold on.
I'm looking at the dial right now.
So no, she was on click 3. Oh, you know what? You're right. Oh yeah, you're right. Click 4.
So all the
take the Millennium Puzzle, you go to 5.
All the feedback damage from Thanos should have killed Sakairan
Iron Man. Oh wow, they missed that one too.
Well, yeah, so they both shit the bed.
Oh yeah, she would have died too.
Dude, they both shit the bed horribly on that one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because the 1 damage from the Millennium Puzzle. That's when she goes, oh, my damage goes up to 3 now.
Yep. So she would have taken 4 feedback damage starting on click 4, right? The 2 Millennium and the 2 Mystics.
Oh wow, that sucks.
So she killed herself.
Sorry, Anthony. I
He was the only figure left, right?
Yes.
So she suicided herself because he still had split lip. You said, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so he would have won regardless.
Oh, dang, they shit the bed bad. All right.
I mean, that's their fault for not
paying attention.
I mean, also you just that's part of keeping like cool, calm, and collected in like pressure situations.
Dude, 100%. Like I agree. Like if you get flustered or
and that's something that you got to work on. We live and learn. People know paying attention is like a skill. I would say, knowing and not knowing things is a skill. And you know what's another skill? Keeping your cool under pressure. It's keeping that mental resolve, because a lot of people.
Dude, just going through life. Flustered. Like I see people that cannot handle stress. Yep. And I've seen them in management positions. I'm like, you should not be here.
Maybe they don't outwardly show it, maybe they don't go like but just the actions that they're doing, kind of if they freeze, that's another one too. If you just freeze and just kind of like, okay,
it's okay to have think time, but if you're just like,
bad. I never freeze. Yeah, right. Anyway, okay, so all right, so
topic 3. Canadian Nationals.
Boom, here we go.
All right.
So, I don't know how many people were there.
I think it was like no, I don't think it was 20. I think it was under 20.
No. So they had to qualify.
Oh no, if you go to the drive, it'll show how many players were there. Cuz it on the one of the things that showed all the players in the standings.
Oh, really? On one of them? Ooh, I want to see this.
It should be the one on the left.
Because the other thing was, one of the things though is like, I don't know why it's not.
Double click the bottom.
Okay.
So let's count the players.
Oh, there's David Crichton.
Yeah, I remember David. Isn't that super nice guy? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, count. Let me see. Count it right there.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on top. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 people?
No. See, that's actually not accurate. Because you have to qualify for 16 slots for the final day. Because the qualifying was on Saturday.
Got it.
So we don't know how many actual people were there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there might have been maybe 30. I don't know. That's just a guess. But you had to win pods of you either had to do, there's like a sealed and constructed.
Okay.
So like you have to like be whatever top whatever. If let's say there were 4 pods, it's probably like the top 4 for each one. That's just like what I'm guessing. Because I do know that the qualifying was on Saturday. Because this was on Sunday, right? So that means what were they doing on Saturday then?
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so
this is national, so they got to have qualifying.
So this is the winner,
place, Emily. So it's kind of cool though, because on the weekend that Emily won, Alyssa won. So 2 girls won.
Yee. Girl power.
Emily's pretty good. She's playing a collector team.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But she doesn't have a super rare, right?
Is Thanos not considered super?
No, all those are considered LEs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was looking up the collector. You keep talking. I'll pull it up just to.
But you should look up for Thanos, right? Yeah, because that makes a difference.
Because it's for it's under the collector ruling that they did for all the
But yeah, what's it say on that one?
Rules, questions, and collector. All right, so legacy cards will be considered to be limited edition figures regardless of the color of the set symbol on their base or card. If applicable, this means they will not count for or against the purpose of this effect. Regarding to...
It's interesting. So she's just getting the damage then.
Yeah.
I mean, I Doesn't matter to me. He's a 13 attack. Whatever. Okay, so Tom. Due to technical difficulties, we messed up a little bit there. So
well, we got the first important part.
Time. Then we missed out. You guys missed out on a big rant, so we'll have to get to that the next time. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I guess until next time, guys. Remember, only bad players blame the dice.
But don't forget to practice start rolling them, guys. Take it easy.
Yep.
Shake it, Cali.